So now like I'm recording this session, okay? Every day you will file your own recording. I will give the recording, okay? So I will let you know how can you find the recording anyway. So let's start. Today our first class, I think, na? This is our first class. So let me talk about why we need Python. You know, why we need Python, because it's a Python class. So let's talk about first why we need Python. Why we have to learn Python. Already we have different programming languages. Like maybe some of you already completed C++, Java, or anything. So like I'm just first let you know, I'm not claiming here that Python is one of the best languages. I'm not claiming that Python is best. You know, I'm not comparing. I'm just giving advantage of Python. It doesn't mean I'm saying Python is best. Okay, sometimes maybe Java is like, if you like even in software right now, if you see Java is better than Python. Okay, still better means the usability, like people are more still if you see in software development, maximum program is nowadays like still in Java, okay, not in Python, but still Python is important. Okay, like different, like if you talk about Scala, okay, Scala is another language. So every language has their its own advantages, but why everyone try to learn Python? I have to give that reason. Okay, so let's talk about those reasons. If suppose you completed Python, just let's suppose you completed your Python class. Okay, now you have the option, you can go for data science. Okay, if you want, you can go in data science. If you completed Python, data science totally open for you. You have to learn machine learning, modeling, little bit about data analytics and all. So you can go directly in data science. You can start work as a data scientist if you completed Python. Okay, so you have that field, like that field is really open for you if you have completed Python. It doesn't mean if you don't complete Python, you will not able to go into data science. Still, if you know MATLAB, you can go into data science. Like one of my friend who is working in TCS research, even he completed, like he is doing using like data science using MATLAB. Okay, so I'm not saying every time you need Python, but most of the time you need Python for data science. Morely if talking about the application task, like data science application or maybe AI application. But in research part, maybe you need MATLAB. Sorry, maybe you need even we don't know. Okay, so I'm talking about Python is, you can say 99%. Right? If you want to go in data science, data analytics, yeah, definitely data analytics. But I'm not claiming here data analytics is all about Python. Definitely we need a tool like maybe SQL, maybe Tableau. So we need here SQL as well. We need Tableau as well. Okay, for doing analysis. But still Python is now, and even people try to do analysis using Python. So we can do even data analytics using Excel itself. There's no need for programming. Okay, but if you know programming, there is an advantage. Okay, and nowadays people try to do analysis using Python even on the application level. Okay, so this is the second application. Let's go for the third application. Suppose you want to go in AI, AI, artificial intelligence. There still you need Python. If you know Python, why you need Python? The Python is like has rich memory, like formulas basically. You can say like you have already lots of library to use directly. Okay, maybe suppose you want to use Java, you can use, but you have to write everything through scratch. But if you don't have that library, okay, but in Python you have different libraries. So sometimes many times even you don't have to write a like maybe 10 line of program and 20 line of program, you can directly use Python. Okay, the most important thing is the advanced framework like TensorFlow, PyTorch, both are written in Python. So this is a Python feasibility. That's why we need Python. Okay, so another field, open field, is even if you want to go for software development, still you can go. Okay, still you can go. People like Django, people using Django, Django developer, so they are using the Python. Even in database, database, like one of my friend working in Scoforce, so he are working as a database engineer, but still he is using Python for data migration. So this is another field. Okay, automation. So automation, like you can use Python as a scripting language. Okay, so it's not only a simple that one. Python is also a automated, like you can use as a scripting language for automation. IoT, people using IoT. Do you know IoT? Internet of Things. So people using in Python in that field also. Okay, so Python has wide range of usability. So you like you as a student, after completion of Python, you have a different options. And you can go into that option. if you know better. But Python, like sometimes what happen, maybe like you're not covering, in like sometimes what happen, people try to learn Python. Okay, what they did, they just try to know only library. That will not helpful. You have to go with scratch. You have to go to like everything detail. Okay, so here in our syllabus, I will try to explain everything through scratch. Okay, I will give the libraries what is already available in Python, but still I will try to make through the scratch. Like suppose let's talk about max. You have a max, you have to pass. Suppose you have a data, write a max, it will return you maximum value. Okay, but that is not good way to learn any language. Okay, so that's why we'll first write a program through scratch. How can you find the maximum value in a total data set? Getting my point? And then we will try to use the maximum value. Can you switch on the AC? Like, okay, got it? Anyone any doubt? Okay, so this is the different open area where you can use Python. Where you can use Python. Got it? Okay, it's very simple. So let's talk about Python. And this is the only I'm giving the application label. When I start Python, every time I will try to compare your Python with Java and C++, and I will say just see how this thing we are doing using Python, and even if you like, if you know Java, how can you do that thing? Okay, let's just I will when I will maybe in middle of the course we'll talk about function. So in that time I will let you know in very most important concept in OOPS is called call by value and call by reference. Not the most important concept in OOPS, most important concept in function, not OOPS, function. Even C is not function, no? But still we can do call by, sorry, C is not a OOPS language, but still we can do call by value and call by reference in function. So in function, this is the most important thing, call by value, call by reference. But in Python we don't have. Okay, we don't have call by value and call by reference. We have call by object reference. Okay, so I am telling this like in interview. Suppose after the completion of course you are trying to get a job and maybe you're giving the interview, so they generally ask such question. That is sometimes such things available in C++ or Java that is not available in Python. Even something which is available in Python not available in C+ and Java. Getting my point? So those things is really important. You have to know this. So even if you like go for an interview, you are able to crack the interview. Got it or not? Clear? Anyone have any doubt? Okay. Doubt? Okay. Very good. So let's go ahead. Let's talk about Python. So first let me know. Do you know what is object oriented programming system? We have a procedure now, like we have a procedural language. Like talking about the C. C is a procedural language. But if you're talking about C++ and Java, that is OOPS language, object oriented programming system, and C is a procedural language. Got it or not? Okay. So then what is Python? I'm just asking you whether it's OOPS or procedural language. OOPS. Anyone else? Anyone else? No. In online? Anyone in online? Okay. So Python. Okay. Python is both OOPS as well as procedural language. It's not only the OOPS. It's not only follow the procedural language. It's follow both. Let me ask one question. Suppose you have to write print India. You guys are like mostly you are from BC and MC and all. So you already cover C language. Okay. And C++. Very good. So let me ask one question. Suppose you have to write print India. Just a very simple question. Print India. I'm asking one question. Suppose you write print India in both way, C++ and C. Which is fast, C or C++? C. Why C? Why? Course? हाँ हाँ ओके सी में हाउ has included data, has converted. So that is a silly format. I'm talking about program. There's a format. What is program? So program is just printf India, no? Printf India. In C++ or C? क्यों C++ में you have to make a class as well, no? If you in C, suppose you're writing in C, we're just writing has included studio.h, has included conio.h, just at printf India. So it will print, no? So printf only command, no, for printing purpose. Is there a need to make a class? But if you talk about C++ or Java, if you in Java, suppose you want to write print India, still you have to make a class, no? Without making class, how can you print it? In C, only need one line, that is printf. Okay, for this line itself, you have to make a class because you're writing oops, no? Okay, so that's why C is very fast for this program. C is faster than Java for this program. Which program? Print India. Getting my point? So why I'm saying this? Actually, sometimes procedural language is better than oops. Sometimes, only many times, oops is better than correct. Python has this possibility. We can write both. We can write oops or we can write procedural. Na? Oops. Okay. So Python has this quality. Anyway, we'll talk in more detail. We're talking about oops because many of you don't know about oops. Thus, I'm not going to that detail. Okay. So we'll come to that. Anyway, clear? This is clear. Okay. So let's talk about Python. Before going to Python, just I want to introduce one thing. Oops, maybe you don't know oops, no problem. Oops is object oriented programming system. Okay, so what happen if you are writing for a procedural language, like suppose oops also, suppose you are writing x is equal to 5. Okay, just writing x is equal to 5. So this is an integer. Anyone who don't know integer? Anyone? You know integer? What is integer? Integer is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These all are integer, no? Even -1. So minus infinity to infinity is integer, no? In math, this is called integer, no? So that's what I'm saying. I'm writing 5, 5 is integer, no? Okay. So just think like this. Suppose you born in Varanasi, okay, and he born in Delhi, okay. You both are boy, right? You both are baby boy, okay. But if someone asks from like where do you believe, belong, you say Varanasi, and he say Delhi. But you both are why? What? Why no? So same like suppose I'm writing x is equal to 5. So it means this x is become integer, because I'm putting this to this, that's will become integer. See, in other language, like talking about C++ or Java, is it possible? Is it possible to write directly x is equal to 5? No. No. First you have to initialize int x, then you can write x is equal to 5. Correct? So first we have to initialize. But here in Python there is no need to initialize the data type. Without initializing you are able to put the value. Okay. But in C++ or maybe in Java, first you are initializing like string x, integer x, float x, and then you are putting the data. Are you getting my point or not? See why this? Here maybe you don't know, maybe I'm trying to explain this question, okay. Maybe you guys are, some of you are not able to understand this problem, okay. But believe me, when I am going to like teach you the oops concept, that time you are able to understand this particular point, okay. So but still I'm trying to explain you, okay. But maybe some of you are not able to understand. If you are learning first time programming language, maybe you are not able to understand this question. and there is no, like, there is nothing to worry, because still we are not started Python. Okay, so if you are not able to understand this problem, don't worry, chill. Okay, when I will start the Python, you are able to learn everything. And once I will reach to oops concept, again I will explain this question and you are able to understand. Okay, so don't worry, chill it if you are not able to understand. Okay, but just I have to explain, because this suppose some student already learned C++ or maybe Java, they will like got this confusion why you are writing x is equal to 5 and is accepting this value without initializing this. Okay, so just you are like, you can think one thing, in my class I'll first explain everything. I will don't like tell you ये ऐसे ही है, I will never say this. Okay, I will explain you everything why it's happening. Okay, so just you have any doubt, anytime you can ask, and I will try to explain why it's happening. Got it? Okay, so that's why I'm explaining this. Okay, so maybe some of you are not able to understand this. Okay, so let me write here. Suppose I'm writing, just a minute. Suppose I'm writing class A, okay, and giving some method and all. So maybe some of you don't know what is method, what is instant variable. Don't worry. Who already completed the oops concept in C++, Java, they know what is class and this is methods. Now I want to make an object. So I'm making x k is equal to a. So I'm making an object for this class. Making now. Even in C++ or Java, we are not first giving the data type of k. No, just giving this k is equal to a of the parenthesis. Automatically the k type of k become for this class. You know. So it means when we are defining the object, we are not initializing before this. No, here we are not initializing k now. Just we are writing k is equal to a parenthesis. Automatically the type of k become class A. Okay, so it means when we are trying to make an object, there is no need to give the initialization. Okay, so then what? Actually in Python everything is object. Just remember this line. I will explain again this line when we will talk about oops. Okay, so in Python everything is what? Object. So if everything is object, there is no need to initialize. Okay, that's why in Python we are writing x is equal to 10. Sorry, in Python if we are writing x is equal to 10, we are writing x is equal to India, it will automatically take this as integer, this is string, because this is object. Okay, so if you are calling the object, you are defining the and assigning the object, there is no need to initialize this. Got it? Clear? Done? So even we don't start Python, still we didn't start Python. Okay, I'm just telling you, just I'm trying to introduce you know. So if you don't know oops, maybe you're not able to understand this problem. Okay, but I will explain again, so don't worry, just chill. Okay, now let's start Python. So all of you have Python in your machine, you can say all of you have Python. If you don't have Python, no worry. If you have Python, that's really good. If you don't have Python, no worry. Okay, there are 2-3 way we can do this. First way, we can directly use Google Colab. Okay, this is basically a cloud version, this is basically using Google Cloud. Let me show you. Suppose I'm going here and writing Google Colab and see this. Here you can see welcome to Collaboratory, and just see this. So I can state a new notebook. So this. So now you can see this is a Google Colab. Okay, I can make a file name. Maybe I can make a file name 1. So this will become a Colab file. I can write a Python program here. I can directly connect this. I am connecting this file to Python machine. That machine is not on my machine. That Python machine available on Google Cloud. Okay, so I'm directly able to write a program here. Suppose I want to write print India. See this, I can writing print India, and I'm able to write it, okay, and run it as well. Okay, so even I don't have Python machine on my laptop, I'm able to run the program. Okay. Why is good? This is online compiler, correct? This online compiler. And this particular file one will save in my Google account. So whenever I open the Google collab, it will open. Okay. Here you can see it's writing Pro. If you open your Google Collab, Pro is not there. Okay. This Pro is there because I am using paid version, because I have some like project and all. In that case we need more RAM. Okay, for AI purpose, not for Python purpose. For Python purpose you can write your all program here, even you can build your own project, no worry. Okay, but for AI purpose we need some hardware and all. See this. If you go here, change run type, find here I have this GPU TPU, you also have this. Okay. But you don't have this one, high RAM. I have this high RAM. So if I need the high RAM, I can run the I can use that high RAM. Okay, like here you can see I'm making a model like person re-identification problem. This is a project for MTech students. Okay, so in such case, like I'm using AI for. So if you see this, the data is very vast. If you're able to see this, there is like, here you can see sorry, 12,936 total images, and one image is 120 64 and 3 for your RGB image, no RGB there. So that's why we need high RAM, but you don't need this. Okay, so just you can open your Google lab file and you can start your programs. Yeah, I think it's only for Python. No, I think it will go work, but I think you have to configure that. Right now is for only for Python, I believe. You have to change this. Yeah, you have to like search on YouTube. Maybe I am not actually. I can't say this whether it's applicable for Java or not. I don't know, but because I always only use for Python, so I don't know. But I can check this whether it's available or not. Okay, so let's check it if you want to check. Can we write Java program? Java, na? Huh? Where you can accept now? Yeah, please. So can we write Java program on Google Colab or not? है ना? So here, since Java is not a native supported by Colab, we need to run following code to enable the Java kernel on Colab. Okay, so like directly you're not able to write a Java program. First you have to run some program to convert Java. Like here you can see that saying the code enable following code to enable Java kernel on Colab. Okay, so if you check it, maybe there is some program you can like, maybe there is some program. हाँ हाँ, तो you can do like this, but in Python there is no need to do anything. Okay, बंदर है ऊपर. Okay, so for Python there is no need to do anything. Okay, just start writing program. Got it? Clear? So this is ID, no? This is Jupyter notebook. Jupyter is an ID. Okay, so you have a different ID. Like you have a Jupyter, we have a VS Code as well, PyCharm, different ID you can use. Okay. Any ID you can use. But for a beginner, Jupyter is very nice. Why it's nice? You are able to run program and you can check output like, no, correct. So this is basically client type things, no? Directly you're writing a program, you're getting your answer. So for a beginner, Jupyter is very nice. Okay. But you can use anyone, no problem. In off, if you want to use Jupyter again offline, no, you need a Python machine. So first you have to download the Python, install Python on your laptop, and then you can install the, like you have to just install the Jupyter. You start running on offline mode. I have that one as well. Yeah, that time there is no need like of internet access. But for this collab, you need a internet access because you're accessing machine, no, which is not available in your home. It is available on cloud. So if you want to use that part which is available on cloud, you need a internet access. Otherwise, how can you use that? Got it? But if you have to try to run program only on like online notebooks, but nowadays, if talking about the interview, they took interview online, okay, and they maybe ask you, go to this particular online portal, run the program, okay. So just it will be very helpful. So try to write a program directly online. It will be very helpful for you. Okay. Any doubt? Okay. So this is like a very simple introduction for Python. Okay. I already asked about all of you, and I think in online we have only 2%. Yeah, we have only 2% in online. In offline we have 3, 3, 6, 8. So total 10 people in this batch, and I believe within 1 to 2, 3 days, some student also come. Yeah. So like next, like today is Wednesday, na? Today is Wednesday. So next 3, 4 class will try to like learn very little, because within like the next 3, 4, 5 days there are some student will come. The student will come. Okay. So after 4 to 5 days, this class will become like a proper class. Okay, and we'll try to explain everything in detail. Okay. So right now I'm closing this recording. I will going to talk you some special things, which is not related to the course. Okay. So because today is our first class, I'm just giving introduction. We'll start total like main thing from tomorrow, but I have to talk something, so that's why I'm closing this recording. Got it? Thank you to all of you guys.